back to Square Body Stuff. We're going to take a break from our little engine build series for now. It hasn't really gone a whole lot of anywhere other than getting the oil pan fixed. Thanks to Shellman sitting here doing what he does best. That's the thinking chair is what we call that, or the timeout chair. I got a little background noise, got fans in the windows because it's a little muggy in the shop tonight. But our project for tonight is working on a little power glide. This is actually going behind that motor that was in that I featured a few videos ago. A little 350 I helped a kid build, going in a 67 Impala. This is the transmission that's going to be going behind it. He broke off a couple bolts, actually I think 5 of them is what he told me for the pan bolts, and kind of got boogered up trying to fix them. So I told him I'd take care of it. We're going to figure out how to get this one. Still needs to be drilled out. That one's still half in there, the bolt is. I'll see what I can do to fix these. This one's going to be tricky because there's not much meat left out here. But the trick I normally do on aluminum is take a brass pipe fitting. This is just your, I think it's what, 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch. I think it's 1/4 inch. Anyways, and tap it out for the pipe thread and put it in there to where it's nice and tight with some Loctite on it, and then cut it off flush, and then drill it and tap it for your 5/16 bolt. I've got several intakes that I've fixed this way. I know the intake on Cream Puff, my little 79 short bed, has got, I think, 3 of the carburetor holes hold the carburetor down, or have those brass inserts like that. So this isn't just for fixing transmissions. This is for fixing anything that's, it could be cast steel, it doesn't have to be aluminum, but this is one of the easiest ways I've found to fix it and be a permanent fix. This is better than helicoils. You can get time certs, they're keyed certs, whatever you want to call them. They're really good also. I've used those before, but sometimes they're a little hard to get. These brass fittings are at every hardware store or automotive parts store. You can get them anywhere, so you just got to get the tap that fits it. Before we get to that, I've got some cool stuff I want to show you. I got an auction this weekend. Got me a new shelf. Got another engine stand for cheap. Pretty excited about this over here. A coffee pot for the shop. I don't have to go back and forth to the house to get my coffee. I can brew it right here in the shop. Got another bench grinder. It's a bigger one. I ended up giving my old one to my oldest son, Clayton. Got a couple other things. Got quite a bit of stuff at the auction. Pretty excited about that. So that's kind of an update on what we got. We got a few more parts in for the 305. And before we get started on this, I also want to plug my shirt, my Dooley Butts Drive Me Nuts. This is available on my Teespring store. The link to that is in the description below, as well as my Facebook and Instagram. So go check my merchandise out. I got shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, some stickers. So go check that out. The money from that helps fund some of these projects, so I'm not out of pocket on it. If you guys could buy a few shirts or something, the profit goes back into the shop, so I can keep doing some projects for you guys. The more revenue I get from there, the better the projects will be. So that's my shameless plug of my merchandise. So we're going to get started on this and see how much of a pain in the butt it's going to be to fix these. I'm going to try to get a center punch, which I've got some rags and stuff taped over the holes. Don't get too many shavings in the side of it. Try to get this one worked out. These next two holes, I'm gonna have to use my little die grinder, the carbide bit, because they're pretty wallered out. Try to fix them with this, get them a little trued up. I'm going to show you what I've got so far. This hole here was pretty easy to drill out pretty straight. That wasn't too bad. It actually still had the bolt broke off in it. This one, as you can tell, it's pretty rough shape. I might be able to get enough threads to hold that. And that one's about the same shape. Oh, that one's not too bad. It's full of JB Weld or something. This one and this one's gonna be a little tricky. We'll see how it goes. See if I can pull this one out. Don't know. We'll see how it works. Got my 1/8 inch tap for 1/8 inch pipe thread. I've got the right drill size. I'm going to start with this one that's I'll do this one. Not sure how it's going to work, but we'll give it a shot anyways. I'm going to lube all these up with some luber juice. That's unfortunate. We'll use this one. And with aluminum, when you're tapping it, well, about any metal, you gotta work it back and forth. You try to go too far all at once, and you'll start pulling threads. Or get your tap stuck. That ain't good. And I want to check to see how deep I need to go, because pipe threads are actually tapered. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know. Anyways, they're tapered, so the tighter you go in there, the further you go in, it'll crimp down on it. With a little Loctite on there, as long as everything's good, a little Loctite on there and get that good and tight, this won't pull out. I know I got my holes cleaned out with carb cleaner, threads on these cleaned off with carb cleaner so everything's nice and dry, oil free. Use some high strength red Loctite or thread locker. It's actually a Permatex brand, and I'm not going to be shy with it. I'm going to put plenty on there. I don't want these to come out. These two are a little sketchy. I think they'll work. These other two are going to be perfect. So I'll let that thread locker cure and everything before we do a whole lot more to it. I might go ahead and cut them off, and then we'll just go from there. Alright, I got my depth wheel on my grinder. I'm not going to cut these off perfectly flush. I'm going to cut it off a little bit above, and then I'll use a flapper wheel to blend it in. Hopefully it works out that way. Right now we're moving on to the flapper wheel. Nice and easy. Take it down. Alright, now I'm going to show you what I've got so far. Got the inserts in, got them cut off and kind of buffed down flush. Hopefully the light's good enough. And you can see on this one, got a little bit of a gap there. This one there's a little bit of a gap because the holes were pretty wallered out. That one's not bad. That one got good and tight down in there. I'm not worried about that one. These two I'm kind of worried about. I think what I'm going to do is mix up some epoxy and kind of fill in around that to help seal it up and give it a little more strength. I don't think they're going to go anywhere, but I don't know. I'd rather have something else to help hold it in there. I'm going to mix up some epoxy. It's just a 5-minute quick epoxy. It's supposed to be good for use on everything. This is real exciting stuff. I've let our epoxy cure up, and I've already got the holes drilled with the appropriate size. I think it was like a 17/64 for our 5/16 by 18 tap. I've already got this hole tapped and reamed out, so it's got a nice little taper to it. I've already got the rest of them reamed. I'm going to finish tapping this one. I started tapping and then I realized I didn't have the camera going. Got a little ahead of myself. We got a 5/16 bolt. Threads right in there. They should be pretty well good to go. I'm going to go through and chase all the rest of the holes, make sure they're good and clean. Finish tapping these two, and of course we don't have a pan gasket or anything, but I'll put the pan on, make sure the holes line up. Probably should have checked that first, but oh well. And that's pretty much it. So I'll finish this up and be done with this video. Before I let you go, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell down below, and check out my Teespring store to check out my merchandise. And until next time, keep them square bodies rolling, and we'll catch you later.